Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam.
So, thank you very much for giving us time. और हमें इस मरतबा डेंटल न्यूज़ की तरफ से, and we think that you are the most outstanding dentist in the world. So we have
the presidency is not dentistry.
Well, the achievement is. So from our point of view, so we've taken the liberty of nominating you and electing you as the Man of the Year for 2018.
From Dental News?
From healthcare platform, Dental News, Medical News.
Okay.
First of all, being our Man of the Year, we would like to know a topic of interest to the masses, that you have a bullet in your arm. Why did you decide to keep it?
I didn't decide to keep it. When I was injured, this was the late 60s, I think 69, when it was a struggle for democracy against Ayub Khan. And I got hit, and then I was transported to the hospital by a cycle wala who took me to Mayo Hospital from Mall Road. And the doctors were more concerned about establishing broken nerve contact and establishing blood supply, and therefore to fish around for the bullet, that's what they said, to fish around for the bullet was not possible. And the damage was so severe that for about 8 or 9 months I was not able to move my fingers. The motor neurons had not recovered. Even today, sensory supplies to 2 or 3 of my fingers is relatively poor. For example, I am not able to count pages or money. So that's the good part. I can't count money with my right hand. So all the bad things come into the left hand to count. So I think that was the reason why the doctors at that time decided not to probe for 2 bullets in the arm. So they are still there.
So there are 2 bullets in the arm.
2 bullets. One can be felt, the other cannot be felt.
Okay, and it has not affected your practice?
It has not affected my practice. My motor neuron situation recovered in about a year. So I had thought for once, for about 4 or 5 months, that I may have to change from dentistry to some other profession. But that was the final year of BTS, so it was very disappointing.
Okay. So, belonging to a family of dental surgeons, what exactly led you into politics?
Actually, I was always interested in anti-corruption. I was always interested in the history of Pakistan, and I was always frustrated looking at society when people were at deprived people. So, and the fact that my father was also a politician, he was a dentist to Jawaharlal Nehru. So, because he was a politician, there was good discussion in the family about politics. The third reason was that my mother was a very well-read lady, and she exposed to me a variety of reading material, which was surprising, because in the college days I was, on her recommendation or her insistence, I used to read philosophy and Marxian theories and Maulana Maududi, his Islamic Law and Constitution. This was all my intermediate work. And as she persisted, my interest in these situations in reading still continues. So I must pray for her forgiveness with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a great person there.
So along the way, what was the role of your family and friends?
In politics, the family was very supportive. I think what I am today, the family has a lot to do with that. And it's not being said as a cliche. I believe very strongly that without the support of the family, I would not have been where I am. For example, in the management of my Alvi Dental Hospital, my wife has such a big and tremendous role that I never knew what was the income of the hospital, who was being employed, and all the decisions were being made. So I was free in my mind to look at other things. So the family support is tremendous.
Zabardast. Was there ever a phase when you thought that you have hit the rock bottom in politics? And how did
Every
you
time I lost an election, I went at rock bottom. But the struggle continues. You can't, every day I would open a newspaper, my frustration would increase. So the recovery was fast also. I needed to do something. My frustration is still there. Every time I read a newspaper, every day, the frustration is still there. There's so many things have to be done. And even being the President of Pakistan, I am unable to reach out everywhere and to be able to do it. So that frustration, therefore, this government has been and should be focusing on systems rather than individual reactions to issues. Sometimes I have seen and I have disliked the fact that everything is, for example, media related, that this poor man or this poor young child was seen on the street, and because the pictures were there in the newspapers, the chief minister of a province or the prime minister solved that issue. I believe there should be an institutional response. Maybe those who come in the newspapers are probably 0.001%, and much more people are there who need an institutional response. So I think that's where institutions are important.
Very true. Now, being a very distinguished dentist and educationist, and now the President of Pakistan, what kind of plans should we expect with your insight about the system and its loopholes?
I am very sorry to state that I find my own professional field lacking in its organizational capabilities, and I believe that they should be dragging themselves up with their bootlaces now and be functioning better, because unless the organizations and associations of the profession think of improvement in the profession, nothing happens. Dentistry as a profession is not purely related to knowledge and delivery. It is also related to an organizational aspect where, for example, if you want to handle quackery, where if you want to handle prevention, you have to look at these things in an organization manner. That's what associations are for. So presently I am disappointed in the organizational aspects of dentistry in Pakistan. And therefore I feel limited in my ability to lift them up. It has to come from the profession, and I can help. So that's where
So they need to come up so that they can come in and suggest things.
Of course, not only suggest things, there should be organizational capabilities should increase. What role is dentistry playing? Dentistry as a profession has a different role than dentistry in education. Universities and colleges are there, they impart education. Dentistry as a profession then can look at the fact that what education standards are happening, maybe they can suggest to PMTC how to improve, etc., etc. Dentistry as an association can look at the aspect of continuing education, rather than all continuing education being in the realm of the industry. Dentistry as an association can play a big part. Dentistry as an association, the biggest part they can play is in prevention.
Okay.
Because the colleges can teach prevention, but at the level of society, the profession goes out and says, okay, this is how you brush your teeth, you do this, you do that, you wash your hands, for example, on the medical side to avoid communicable diseases. There's so much which the profession can do, and therefore, in that realm, I am disappointed that they should put their houses in order and try and pick up these issues.
Being one of the architects of Dental Act yourself, do you think it will see light of the day?
I think Dental Act was written with the help of other acts and other people. Also was written by me in, I think, 1980s, in the mid-80s. And a copy of still is with me, which was signed by the Prime Minister Mohammad Khan Junejo. It was presented to him in the 80s. Today I feel, again, the disappointing part is I would like that Dental Act to be implemented and brought out, but I believe that the profession is not ready to take charge. Therefore, personally, my opinion today is, and I would like to have a discourse with the associations or dentists in this regard, that presently I feel that everything can be worked out under the umbrella of the Pakistan Medical and Dental Council. Now imagine the dental profession is not managing itself well, and now you have a separate Pakistan Dental Council. There is no confidence in me that when they cannot take care of their own associations right now, they will take care of the profession at large. So therefore, because of lack of that confidence, I believe that dentistry the best thing for dentistry is that it may continue along with the Pakistan Medical Dental Council, and an ordinance will be coming through me in which I have made a lot of suggestions, increasing the number of dentists being represented in it, as well as have a standing committee of the dentists, so that the issues of dentistry go to that standing committee, and the decisions made then come to the main PMDC, where dentists have communicated to me over the last decades that the PMDC does not have the time to look at dental issues. So rather than debating it in the full house, they should develop their own recommendations, maybe therefore the issues are going to be handled better. And I am suggesting a sub-registrar also for dentistry separately, so those issues can be handled.
Okay. Like in other countries, these dental councils or medical councils are handled by professionals rather than people from the same profession. You know, they could be lawyers, they could be people from other disciplines. Is it possible that similar thing can happen in Pakistan? At this point in time, a judge is heading PMDC, but something on a permanent basis.
I think the new ordinance, when it will come, and therefore it will come as an ordinance and then go as a form of bill into the parliament, I think the structure will be well defined. It will open up the fact not only the judiciary but other people from other professions could also, for example, organization involved, somebody who has management skills should be there. So where issues of education are concerned, somebody with merit on that area should be there. So I think it will be a comprehensive act when it comes.
Okay, and will it be doing something for the curriculum as well?
Why not? I think that's primary. I think that's very important, that the curriculum should be looked at, the goals should be looked at. I wrote a treatise on the competencies which we expect from dentists in the Asia Pacific region. I think part of that could be adopted or may have already been adopted, that the decision of what you want a dentist to be like, that the final product should be in mind. Then below that, there should be flexibility between institutions, how to achieve the same goal throughout Pakistan.
Okay. So being yourself a brilliant dentist and an accomplished politician and our personality of the year, how important is it to pursue your dreams, you know, beyond your profession?
Must be important. It was very important to me, and I think it should be important to everybody. I pursued my dreams in dentistry first. Politics went side by side, but I pursued my dreams in dentistry. I tried to excel, tried to go abroad. When I came back with my first master's in prosthodontics, I thought I had achieved everything. Within 6-7 years, I realized that I needed to do something in orthodontics. So I went back, did that. Then further achievement was I worked hard for achieving diplomate status in the American boards. So every decade, I tried to improve my excellence in my own field, starting in the 70s, 60s my own BDS, 70s the first master's, 80s the second master's, 90s the diplomate status. And after that, I looked at when in the 70s I excelled in dentistry, I thought so, 70s and 80s. Then I looked at improving my management and my clinic. So that was a big charge from Abdullah Harun Road in a 2-operatory run-of-the-mill dental office. I developed my hospital in Sindhi Muslim Society, which I still love in the sense that it's a beautiful piece of art and architecture.
It is.
Those were the struggles in dentistry. But at the same time, my frustration regarding what is happening in Pakistan was also simultaneously getting important. In the 80s and 90s, I worked in politics in the 70s also, in the 60s also. But in the 80s and 90s, it pushed me more to try and achieve things on the political side. I was given the permission to establish the Medical and Dental University. The first permission given in 1988 was to me.
Okay.
And Dr. Tariq Sohail was the health secretary. But by that time, I had applied for this in the 70s.
Okay.
So the issue was there that we wanted to set up a charitable medical and dental college. In the sense, charitable in the sense that we did not want to make money from it.
Okay.
So that was the intent. But by the 80s, when I got the permission, I had to make a big decision. And that decision was that I thought that if I go into teaching, I would have to devote my life to it. And I thought there are so many issues which are important in my life beyond dentistry that I cannot devote my life only to dental teaching. So I made that decision. So therefore, the second grantee of that era was the Bakai Medical and Dental
University,
College.
yeah.
So they set it up, and I did not. So I kept myself open to be able to contribute more in a field where I have more access. But all through my periods, I was always looking for going out to the people to address them. And you remember that we started the oral public dental education program with the help of a commercial toothpaste manufacturing company when I was the president of Pakistan Dental Association, and we went out and educated about 800 or 900,000 children on how to brush. So the issue still is that we must improve the dental health, oral health of the people of Pakistan. That cannot happen only by curative dentistry. It has to be prevention at a massive scale. The orientation of the dentists coming out of medical and dental colleges or doctors should be geared towards prevention, because a dollar spent in prevention saves $100 in curative care.
That's right.
And Pakistan is a poor country, therefore the consensus and the commitment should be to look at issues of prevention. Easily done.
Yes, prevention is better than cure, as they say.
Yes, easily done. In dentistry, it is much easily done.
So just taking cue from this, you played a major role in World Oral Health Day with FDI,
Yes.
and then having it passed from the assembly here in Pakistan.
Yeah.
And
these things have run simultaneously, like I said. In the first decade of 2000, then there was a conference in Pakistan, which was in 2006, the Asia Pacific Congress, which we held, and I was the chairman of that conference. It was a big struggle with the situation in local situation getting bad with violence, etc. And there was a group of dentists who wanted that the conference should be cancelled. But wherever issue of Pakistan comes in, I insisted the conference should be held. So we held the Congress, and from that Congress on, I started working in an international arena which I didn't want to. My colleagues kept on telling me that I should be taking lectures abroad, etc., etc. I didn't want to. But from that conference, I started working in the Asia Pacific Dental Federation, and from there I jumped into the FDI, which is the World Dental Federation. Even there, I started looking at prevention, and the World Oral Health Day, the date was decided by my push for March 20th. And the people in Geneva, where the FDI has an office, the primary office, they would tell me that there's no money, Dr. Alvi, in this. Why do you want to do this? And I told them that within the first few years we'll start generating money, because there'll be cooperation with toothpaste manufacturers. So the World Oral Health Day is now totally established, and since 2000, when I was one of the elected councillors. The task was given entirely to me. I was heading that council. I insisted from the first. I worked in FDI for 6 years. From the first year I started insisting on this. I think by the third or fourth year I was successful in convincing my colleagues that is so Pakistan takes credit. That's good.
And you would be happy to know that Dental News was the first who, on a nationwide, organized the World Oral Health
Day. That
Day.
I know.
And with your blessings, we did it since 2011.
Yeah, that I know. I am aware of it.
The most intense lesson that you have learned during your years studying, practicing, or doing politics?
Most intense?
Intense. Noteworthy.
Decision.
The lesson that you have learned.
I think it's very easy to say it. It's been difficult for me. It's easy to say it that people say that stay by the truth, serve the people. It's all staying by the truth by itself is a difficult thing. Then serving the people is again not an easy task. So I think the most testing time and the most difficult times were facing violence in this whole struggle. From getting shot in the first decade of my political awareness, and then being shot at when the Karachi was in a bad state of violence, and we stood up against it.
Yes.
And you know the history. We sacrificed. People thought that I will not live in those testing times, but Allah Ta'ala जिस पर हाथ रखे तो उसको कोई चख नहीं सकता.
Besides, we know that you are a brave politician.
It is not bravery. It is not bravery. It is sometimes when I was struggling against corruption when I was a dentist, when I was a dental student. So I remember doing a protest in my De Montmorency College of Dentistry because there was corruption, and the worst part was, the best part was, the best part was that a weekly used to come out by the name of Zindagi. And a journalist by the name of Sajjad Mir, who's still a talk show host, he wrote an article on me and my struggle in Zindagi with the title cover was my struggle against corruption, and it ran for 2 or 3 pages, the hard work which we are doing against corruption.
And this was 60s?
This was 69.
69.
So the work started as long as that ago.
So you do remember during your campaign, we also did something about save water using a mug to brush your teeth.
Yeah.
You still believe that that's the way forward?
I think that is definitely the way forward, because the scarcity of water, the global warming, the environment, the lack of trees in Pakistan, all these things, we are conscious of that. And what we did was, we did a million tree tsunami in Karachi. We went to schools, we educated children to make their flat balconies green. We started this beej wali pencil concept. We worked in that area, and even today I believe that conservation in water is very important. Make people guilty. I am so guilty when I open the tap and I feel that water is being wasted. It's a daily guilt. And so I want to reduce the consumption of water, and of course electricity, etc., etc. So the new generation should be learning conservation, and it should be practicing conservation. And I give an example to people that, for example, in Pakistan, which has a very major religious ethos, that the Prophet ﷺ used to do miswak so many times a day. There are 20 or 22 hadiths describing how frequently he did that. The Prophet said to conserve water. The Prophet talked about greening, importance of trees and sadqa jariyah as far as that is concerned. Cleanliness of water, sadqa jariyah people consider. So in my constituency, I put up 12 filtration plants to give clean water to people, because all this is related to general health.
It is.
Yeah. Washing of hands. He used to do wudu so many times a day, so washing of hands prevents communicable diseases. There's so much treasure in our history which can motivate people in this direction. So I think conservation of water, frequent brushing. I practice brushing almost 4 or 5 times a day now. It just makes me feel good. Mouth odors are kept away. And that spirit is taken up again by the Prophet's practice of brushing, doing miswak with every wuzu. So it fits in the Prophet's practice of doing miswak every time when he went out to meet people. It's a tremendous guidance for me. So, and I can assure people that it significantly improves oral health.
So is that your message for the Oral Health Day also?
Absolutely. Brush as many times as you can.
Okay, and keep your mouth clean.
Clean, and then of course disease free. I think 90 to 95% of oral diseases are because of poor brushing.
Okay.
So it will put dentists out of a job.
Okay. Do you think quackery is an issue in Pakistan, especially?
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is, and all. What is happening is, in Pakistan in education, there was a Supreme Court decision whereby admissions are now being given by merit. And what has happened is there are 80% girls and 20% boys. That's very good because it's on merit. But what happens is, you expect all women and girls dentists, lady dentists who come out to be able to practice. And the figures which I get is that about 50% of the women don't practice at all and give it up forever. So I spoke at the inauguration, the convocation of the Karachi Medical and Dental College, and I encouraged the girls there that it is such a good profession, even as part-time practice, you should do it. Because there's so much investment in those people by the government and by the people of Pakistan. You're learning and practicing on the people of Pakistan also.
True.
So the lack of dentists is also because we are producing dentists, but probably a large number of those dentists never go out and work.
That's right.
So it's a waste of educational resources, and it's a waste that the country cannot have enough curative care. So therefore quackery comes in. If people have a problem, if they don't find a dentist, they'll take an aspirin. They'll do totka. Anybody says do this, they'll put a glove in the mouth and try and dissolve it. Whatever, there's so many ways people start. They can't just ignore the pain. And if you don't find a dentist, they'll do all that. They'll go to a quack. They'll go to somebody who can fix it in whichever way. So it's the need of the people to get some attention. And I don't know how can you handle it. I think by producing more dentists who practice, maybe the need for the quack then evaporates. It's just not only purely a law and order situation.
But besides Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad, they need to go in the periphery as well. Because
I think that should be a commercial incentive for dentists to go into the periphery, because you can't force anybody to go there. So there must be some incentives. So
I'm sure you're familiar with a Made in Pakistan application also that we once showed you, authentic. That can curb quackery, because otherwise
that can be of help, definitely.
So your message to the people of Pakistan for the new year and the dental community in particular?
I think my message would be to work harder, to work with care, help the people of Pakistan. There's so many, 20 million people out of school, children out of school, help in that context. Do look at prevention in health, both communicable and non-communicable diseases. Improve your diet, exercise. There's so many things people can do without state's help.
That's right.
Nutrition, stunting is happening.
Yes.
We encourage breastfeeding by mothers, increase the nutrition level, look for safe water, work for safe water, keep clean. There's so many things which Pakistan and the people of Pakistan need to do. So the message is comprehensive. Not one single thing, but if you want a Naya Pakistan, you will have to work very hard.
So Naya Pakistan is hard work.
Hard work. Can't happen. at everything.
Thank you very much once again.